It's a gerb, gerb, gerb. So you have Athena banned out and a Sobek banned out, which means we're going to go deep into the support tank. We'll probably have an Emir Bacchus split this game. Emir on one team, Bacchus on the other. Thor jungle looks like they're going to just take the Agni. So I'm playing Agni again this game. He ended up winning the man mode awards. So they're going to pick up Naja, which is unfortunate. One of the reasons why junglers and solo laners usually banned out is because support tanks are just going to be there. So they're going to have a really strong Naja, and there's the Bacchus pick, which means we're going to be forced to take Emir. There really isn't any other option on the table. Now we could go for like a Hades Guan Yu or something wonky like that, but generally you're going to want to have one solo laner and then a support tank. And it's with Sobek off the table, Athena off the table, and Bacchus already selected. I expect an Emir pick here for my team, probably the best option. Then we can go for like a solo Ra. We can go for a solo, pretty much anything. So it looks like Hell's going to be picked up here. I don't know if so solo Hell. Which means we're going to have a lot of support, utility, and healing. But again, the Naja Hell matchup is pretty easy for Naja to take out of Hell in the solo lane. Hell gets taken out pretty quickly by those kind of, gap closer characters like Loki or Naja if they have assistance. Now, obviously, if you have like Loki, Hell in the middle lane. Hell has a really easy time against Loki in the middle lane, just because you can heal, push. But unfortunately enough, in the solo lane, it's very different, because you'll have that solo laner that's there, and it depends on what they pick up. But again, the Hell's going to be a tough spot. We're going to pick up the Neath. We don't really have a support tank, just because they've already picked it, and we haven't picked a jungle. And again, I'm going to remind you guys, every single time we go for the picking phase, always pick what the enemy team doesn't have. Always pick that, because you're going to have higher priority. Since they picked up a jungler, they picked up a support tank, we're not going to pick those up. We got a mid, we got a solo, we got a ranged physical carry. Because they already have those roles picked, there's no reason for us to try and fight for a support tank or fight for a jungler when they already have it picked. So we're not going to try and fight for that. We're just going to pick those up. So it looks like they're going to go ahead and go with this. See what they, what jungle? Thor. Fen. We also need a support tank. We're going to go for Thor since he's still picked up. Probably Emir then, since he's last. I'm probably just going to go for Emir last, just because Sobek, Athena, and Bacchus are all off the table. I mean, you could go for like a Hades, you could go for a Guan Yu, but Emir is just so strong. So strong. Or Guan Yu. Guan Yu's support. Emir's still available. Don't really know why we'd want the Guan over the Emir, but last pickup for them is going to be Poseidon. Nothing really too surprising there. Agni. We're going to pick up this Agni, go mid again. Gonna go mid again. Let's see. So that's the final lineup. They're going to have Naja in the jungle, Poseidon in the middle lane, Ra in the solo lane, the short lane, and then Bacchus and Apollo in the long lane. We will have Hell in the short lane, Neath and Guan Yu in the long lane, Agni in the middle lane, and then Thor in the jungle. And that's the final lineup for my team. Poseidon, Agni lane matchup. Of course, Poseidon has a little bit of a stronger level 1 through 5 on the Agni, unless you get some really good dashes off and you get lucky. Looks like their Apollo's having trouble connecting here. This might actually be an EU server. We got Omega. Oh, it's not. Perfect. So, of course, we're going to go for the standard build. Boots, Mythic Shroud, and some pots. That's where we're going to be heading out here. Again, I'm going to let my team stack up on the Furies, and then I'm going to go stand off to the sides to see if we can catch anyone rotating over, going for a backup or anything like that. Looks like Apollo ended up disconnecting there. We do have a Mega here, so we'll see if we can't beat him out. He's going to be playing Ra. Playing Ra in the solo lane, so not really too worried about that. The solo lane doesn't really commit too much to the early game. It's usually the mid and the jungle that does that. So I'm going to hang out over here. I like hanging out over here just because it prevents any kind of rotations. They can't come this way. They can't come this way. They can go that way, but again, if they come that way on my team, they'll be able to see it and react in time. I don't know, he's gone. We shall see. So there's the Thor. Bacchus just put a ward down. There's a ward there. I'm going to back off this way so the ward doesn't see me. And again, don't spend your points early on. That's probably the biggest thing that I can tell to early players. It takes a little bit of experience to know when to take your abilities and which ones you have. And some people, no matter what, you're always going to pick up the same ability at level 1. But, you know, people like Agni, if they get jumped on here by a big rotation or a big, you know, flank, I'll just pick up my dash. And if I get jumped on here, or if we jump on somebody else, or, you know, we just end up clearing out a camp, I'll go for my flame wave. So there's going to be a ward right here. They know we're here. So I'm probably just going to go to the other side and see if they can't clear that out. Pick up my flame wave here. I'm going to stack up my passive and keep it here so that when I go into the middle lane to push the wave up against Poseidon, I'll have my passive stacked up. Looks like I'm going to miss one shot. That's fine. Passive is going to help me clear out the lane. We can go over here and see if we can't find this, but I doubt that it's not going to be there. I'm actually going to let Guan Yu go first here because I'm a little bit worried about a rotation. Looks like it is gone indeed. So they have a jungle Naja. Now they're playing 4v5, which has two schools of thought to it. They could play hyper aggressive and try to win the early game and try and end the game, or they could try to play passive and take the kills as they get them. There's a free shot on those. There's a hit there. And again, if Poseidon lands a really good, so what I want to do is kind of zone him out here so he can't stack up the wave, but I'm going to stack it up myself. The further back he is, the better. You can go for a whirlpool here. There's the whirlpool. And wait for it to end. There's a flame wave. There's a dash. So since Poseidon's not being very aggressive here, I can have a better push than him. But generally, if the Poseidon understands the mechanics and fundamentals of laning, the Poseidon will have a big advantage against the Agni. Levels 1 through 5. Once Agni hits level 5, it levels out. In fact, Agni probably has a little bit better push than the Poseidon if they're equally skilled. And here comes the whirlpool combination. Here it is. See if I can't push that down. And there's that. So you need to dash to match the Poseidon. This is one of the reasons why it's so weak. And he can just sit back and use 2 spells to do it. So we'll see. We got the Thor here. We're hitting the 140 mark. So the right one should be respawning. And since they cleared this out too, they should be respawning at about the same time. We'll see who. Looks like we cleared it out faster than they did. There's that. Get my passive stacked up. There's a clear there. And again, jungling is all about clearing out these side camps, making sure that timing is always perfect. Which means they're probably clearing out these side camps over here, and be careful about rotations from behind. That's probably on. Actually, Poseidon went home. That's surprising. He's probably going to go for a title search here. I'm going to wait for these to stack up. I want to go ahead and make sure that nothing happened over there. His whirlpool's on cooldown for a few seconds. I have just a small window here. That was a really good reaction. Now the whirlpool comes out. Now he's level 5. Naja missed there, thankfully. That's a big hit. Didn't really have a big option there. That was really poor placement. And that's pretty much Poseidon and Agni in the middle lane. It's just going to be that engagement right there. Poseidon, whether he lands the ultimate or not. But he just had a big wave, and I played really aggressive. So that's going to be first, or actually, it's going to be first blood for the enemy team. It's going to be a death from me, but not really the biggest of deals. Poseidon's up in gold now, but again, if we leverage the middle lane and farm effectively, we can come back for this. And the biggest thing you can do for yourself if you die early is not get it in your head. You know, don't get too caught up in yourself. Don't you know, freak out too much about it. Just play safe, play focused, play calm. Get yourself back in the game, and don't let it affect your mental state. Emotions are really, really important in sports or competition, but generally esports as well. Let's see if I can't help out with that. Looks like there's the clear. You can easily just zone yourself out or freak yourself out or anything like that. Actually, let me clear this out here. There's that clear. Looks like Poseidon is over there. No reason for me to be spamming that. And there's no option for me to kill anything here, so I'm just going to go ahead and clear this side camp up. Use a passive. That was really bad recognition, or recognized by me. I recognized that really, really late. He should be able to get that pretty easily. There's the Bacchus. Neith's gonna be here, or Naja's gonna be here. Most likely. He's gonna belly flop? Probably. Over the wall, maybe. And that's what you want to wait for. Always, always, always. If you have that many teammates grouping up in one spot, there's no reason for you to jump in on it. And I knew he was gonna... This is really bad. I knew he was gonna go over the wall there, so I just waited. As soon as he jumped over the wall, he was dead. So I might want to go in on this. We have the side camp clearable here. There's Naja. Guan Yu's going. Does he have an ultimate? He does have an ultimate. This could be an opportunity for us to get a kill. Or Kraken in the face. Always want to be wary of the Kraken in the face. There's a kill. There's a double stun, but is it going to help him out? Probably not. Naja might want to go in on this. There's a triple stun to help him out. And the hit! Oh, the Naja ultimate's going to keep him alive. I'm going to body block this here. There's a Neath ultimate. That Naja passive is so good. They're out of range here. Ra's ultimate is down. The Kraken should be coming up in about 25 seconds or so. So Ra's pretty much in a tough spot. I'm going to free harassment off there. I'm going to go ahead and flame wave that. Put one in my ulti. Poseidon's here, so not really that big of a deal. We're going to clear this out, get some experience, dash back to the tower, and head on home. No reason to stand in the lane and back up. Get some penetration. Again, we're going to go for the Void Stone just because it's going to benefit me so much against a Raw solo, a Bacchus support, and then a Poseidon middle lane. That burst damage from Raw and Poseidon are going to be a big contributor of whether or not I live. So you can see how much, ignoring that early death benefited me. So now I'm 3-1 and 2 after 0-1 and 0. So I mean, making sure it doesn't affect your mental state is so important to your overall play. You cannot let deaths or failures affect your mental state or your emotions. It will just ruin the rest of the game for you. And you'll probably end up feeding more or, yelling at your teammates or anything along those lines. So always keep high spirits. It's never over until the Minotaur falls. Clear those out. Looks like Ra's still in the right lane. I need to start buying wards. I haven't been buying any wards just because I'm kind of going for a minimalist thing here. Poseidon's rotating to the right lane. I can actually go over here towards the mid lane. He's going to probably back up towards the mid lane.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Double kill. You have slain an enemy. Nice job.
Close call there. Poseidon's going to end up falling, and Bacchus is forced to retreat. So really great positioning, really good rotations, and anything along those lines. Naja's going to go for a hook here, possibly. There's a stun to prevent him from doing so. Since we're all kind of low, I don't really want to risk anything. Just don't want to risk anything. So we're going to head back to the middle lane and keep on farming. I should probably take this blue buff since Thor cleared out my middle lane for me. Kind of want to just lead this up, get free damage off of it. It does do damage. Most people don't even realize that Noxious Fumes does damage, but it does. Now my passive's up. Go for the Flame Wave. Clear this out here. Save my dash. If you're looking to get better at Agni, the biggest advice that I give you, and the biggest advice everyone will always give you, is just get good at using your dash effectively. Your dash is the biggest thing that Agni can learn. And most people that are new to Agni just dash all the time. You can see I probably only dashed offensively maybe once or twice this game. You never really want to dash offensively. Clear that out. Thor's over here now. We get this side camp, which they might be doing right now. So they already cleared it. Could be going home now. I have enough to finish off my Void Stone, which is really good. I'm going to need an Aegis Amulet. The fact that I didn't pick up active this early is really bad. So let's go ahead. I have actually a good amount of magic damage here. So what I could go for is the regular Void Stone. I'm going to pick up a Aegis Amulet for the Poseidon, and then a ward. And now we're back in the lane. Since I'm controlling the lane well enough and I cleared it before I went home, one of the biggest things about playing the middle lane is you never really want to leave until it's pushed. It's very easy for the enemy to clear out the lane and damage your tower, or even destroy it if you leave very early or don't clear the way before you leave. It's something you'll see that's more prominent in other MOBAs, especially Dota. Dota's really, really big on that. But of course, there's a component of it in every single MOBA. You really need to make sure you clear your lane and push it back before you leave. Thor's going to dunk, and I'm going to get here as fast as I can. I'm actually going to use my dash to get there. Poseidon's going to try and get away here, but he's going to run right into me. Naja's right behind me. There's a Neath ult. There's a kill. This is actually not a good spot for me to be in. Really good split for me. I actually can bait this out. If they go on me, I might be able to get some kills here. They're just going to back off. They don't really want to fight me right now. Hell's still in the right lane. What I can do, they have a ward here already. I can place a ward towards the middle lane. It looks like the left lane is going to be the biggest place for rotations and ganks. So I'm going to put this a little bit forward so we can check out that side camp. Side camp is available. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here. Some last hits on those. Free money, and then head over to these side camps, clear these out. Poseidon is now forced to clear that lane, and I'm going to go ahead and get these side camps for more golden experience. That one's gone. Looks like the blue buff's being picked up there by the Thor.
Enemy missing right.
Middle camp is what he's coming for, which is always good. Looks like that's cleared. I want this damage buff, and he knows it. Hopefully it's for me.
Your right tower is under attack.
He's going to pick it up. Always give your jungler first choice on the camps. They may have something in mind or some kind of role they want to go for. So make sure that you're always giving them first choice on buffs. We'll clear these out. No passive on that one, but I don't really need it. There's a stack. As far as the next item goes, I could go for a Gem of Isolation. In fact, that's exactly what I'm going to go for. Now, there's a lot of thought process that goes behind high-level itemization. This actually might be a kill. I haven't aegis him in case he ults. He's not here. He's back in the middle lane. Don't know if they're under tower or not. Kind of just waiting for someone to rotate. Mid tower is in danger, so I'm going to go ahead and clear that out. Make sure that doesn't take too much damage. Don't know where the Poseidon is. Looks like Bacchus was over there. Probably just warded it, to be honest with you. Looks like mid's going to be cleared out just fine. Side camp over here is available. Not just diving the right lane. It's important to have a teleport on you at all times, and I'm not doing it very often. What I need to do.
An enemy has been slain.
That kill over there.
Be careful left.
Poseidon's not going that way, so it's important.
Be careful left.
Kind of just waiting for an opportunity to get him there. See how much damage I'm doing with the penetration that I have from the Void Stone. I'm actually going to go ahead and dash back to my tower and head home. Killing the Paul in the left lane, which is always really good. Always really, really good. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Gem of Isolation. As I was mentioning earlier that I didn't really get the chance to finish, is the fact that I'm looking for an opportunity to... actually, I might get shelled this game. Actually, I'm going to stick to my standard Blink. I like Blink a lot.
Be right back.
But the reason I'm getting Gem of Isolation is because we're ahead. You can see we're up by about 2,000 gold right now, 2.5k. I have enough damage and protection to keep myself alive, and I have the kit to do it. I mean, Agni's very versatile. So what I want is kill securing. I want to make sure that the kills that we might have are secured, and Gem of Isolation does that. If you're ever ahead, and you're pretty far ahead, getting the Gem of Isolation will allow you to secure more kills, which will keep you ahead. The flip side of the coin of that is, if you're behind and you're a mage and you're very squishy, one of the best things you can do for your team is pick up a Gem of Isolation. If you're not going to be doing damage anyway because you're so far behind and you're not going to be in the fight to do damage, then it's really good for your team if you just pick up a Gem of Isolation just to make sure that you help your team out in securing kills. Gem of Isolation is really good at securing kills for your team because the slow comes out and that's more CC than anyone's not really ready for. Looks like he didn't get a ward off on that. I don't really want to use my meteor just yet. There's a meteor. Passive, Naja could be coming behind. Always want to be aware of that. Naja ended up clearing that out. There's a ward from Thor. Thor kind of wants to blink over the wall here. I avoided the end of the burp there. If you're not in the cone when it ends, it won't stun you. So I went behind him, so he would have to turn his mouse very quickly to get that off in time. Free kill on that. Bacchus is here, but not really a whole lot he can do. We might be able to kill him. He's actually gonna try and go for the Thor. That's going to be it. Nothing we can really do about that. Hell's going to clear this out. We can go for the Gold Fury now. I have a ward for the Gold Fury. Does Guan Yu? No one has wards, so it's just going to be me. I'm going to go ahead and ward up the Gold Fury so they don't have any wards here. Now we know they don't have vision, so I'm going to go ahead and start this a little bit. Hopefully leash it over to the Guan Yu. There it is. Passive's up. Flame Wave. I'm going to save my meteors just because a lot of Agnis will use, if you're not in danger of losing the objective, save your meteors. Let your team clear out the objective, get the gold. Because then if someone comes over to team fight and use all 3 meteors to clear out the objective, your team fight's going to be significantly weakened. You rely heavily on your meteors, and if you don't have them, you won't be able to have a very strong team fight, which you really want to have a strong team fight if you get taken from behind while you're doing a Gold Fury or a Fire Giant or something along those lines. Definitely want to save those meteors. I'm going to take this damage buff. There's my passive. I'm going to go ahead and dash. That should be enough to clear this out. I'm actually going to save up enough to finish off the gem before I go home, which is going to be 1950. Last hits for days. Thor's going to go back and pick that up. I have the damage buff right now. Right lane's doing well, jungle's doing well, and our middle, which is me, is doing well. This ward looks like it went down. It was only a 90-second duration ward, which is really the only ward that I buy. Probably could have gone for an ult there, but that was just really good positioning, and they probably have a ward there. That's the only thing I can tell you. That's a free kill on Poseidon. Whirlpool's not going to save you, buddy. You're dead. So again, that just came down to awareness. They have a ward there, which I didn't realize. Nor was I really paying enough attention. So again, another lesson learned. Every time you die, always try to figure out why you died and what you could have done better next time. So right there, I could have been paying more attention, and also could have been privy to the fact that number 1, my each statement was down, and number 2, I could have dashed out of the whirlpool. There's a split second before the whirlpool does its first take of damage, which applies the cripple, and if you're fast enough on Agni, you can just dash out of it. So I have my Gem of Isolation. I'll have that slow available to me. And at this point, we're up by about 4,000 gold, so we're doing really good. We're doing very, very good here. So nothing that to keep in mind. So we're up in gold. We're kind of waiting for an opportunity now. The biggest thing that you can do when you're ahead is just play safe. And obviously I wasn't playing very safe there. You want to play as safe as you can, because the only way the enemy team's going to get back into the game is if you make big mistakes. And right there, dying was a big mistake. Go ahead and actually wait for an award here, because I'm pretty close. I'm going to pick up one of those. It's like Thor might be dived on here by the Naja. They're going to back off. Right lane tower was taken out just because Hell's rotating a lot and keeping that up. So we have no towers down, and they do, and we're still up by 3,000 gold, which is a good sign. If you're ever up in gold and they have more towers than you, that's a really, really good sign that you're doing well. Because once you kill the enemy towers, that gold will be captured. That's free gold. That's pretty much guaranteed gold as long as you get those towers down. So when they're up in towers because they got more gold experience than you and you're still winning, you're doing good. I'm going to clear this out, make sure they all die, and push this wave up. Probably get this tower. This tower will give us a big bonus in experience in gold, and give the right lane nowhere to hide. I have a ward, and I'm going to want to place it down somewhere healthy. It's like left lane just got jumped on pretty hard. Put that ward down there. We're going to get this tower. Looks like he teleported over really well. Probably gonna have to back off here. He has the heals, but doesn't look like he has the farm either. I mean, he's the same. He's actually higher level than me. He has a little bit less farm than me. But Agni's just really, really aggressive. And I have the penetration and the slow, which makes it difficult for him to do what he wants to do. I'm going to save out my meteors here. I don't want to waste any meteors. I'm just going to go ahead and clear this out. I probably shouldn't even have dashed there. That was a really greedy dash, but I feel like I'm safe. Because left lane's very, very pushed up. A lot of action going on over there. So here's that. We're going to push that wave down. Left lane looks like it's about to lose a tower. So in the meantime, I can take this mid tower. We got the right tower. Ra is rotating over, so keep that in mind. I have my dash if I need it. Should be here soon. And there he is. Just gonna stun him out, do some damage to him. Pretty meteor damage. He has a lot of magic protection, it looks like. Yeah, he definitely has that Void Stone doing a lot for him. Really big pickup for us. Bacchus is here, there's Apollo. I'm gonna go ahead and back off a bit here. I don't really want to run to Poseidon. I have my H-Stam in case I need it, but this is actually going to be a really tough stun. Drunk state abilities are really tough. We're just going to back off here. I'm pretty low. Looks like Thor's is heading out, so I'm going to go ahead and back off myself. They could have a ward here, so kind of stare at the middle lane while you're backing. Make sure they're not going to be jumping on you anytime soon. At this point, I probably want to go for a little bit of protection. Physical from the Apollo and the Naja. I'm not really too worried about Poseidon or Ra here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up a breastplate just to keep myself alive. And then a level in my blink. I'm going to work towards the combat blink. Now that I've accomplished my Gem of Isolation, my Void Stone penetration for my boots, I'm in a good spot. I'm not really too worried about getting ganked or being killed off here. Or I'm not worried about doing enough damage. I'm worried about getting killed. It's very easy for any team to come back if they get kills on you or they get clears or anything along those lines. So you want to make sure that you're as impenetrable as you can be. Since I'm comfortable with the amount of damage I do and the penetration that I have, I'm just going to go for some defense. So we can get some clears in on this. Get some clears on that. Naja's going to go in the right lane. Right lane thing he jumped on. Naja ultimate. I'm actually going to dash over there and I can blink as well. Naja's going to backflip away. I'm really excited to come soon. There's a kill on the Apollo. Really good pickup there. Naja's going to be forced to retreat. Here comes the gank squad. Bacchus and his buddy. I'm going to restack that up. I'm going to dash away here. I don't want to like a cop. I'm going to stop that stun from coming out by interrupting it. Thor's going to blink away. Naja's going to be our main target here. Thor should know it as well. Yep. Thor knows it. I know it. Let's see if we can't get on this. So we're kind of just waiting to switch servers here. As my stream time is up. And there we go. Gold Fury is available. I don't really have any wards. I'm trying to finish off my Breastplate of Valor now. Naja.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Clear there. Poseidon should be middle, pushing this up a little bit. There's a Bacchus. Kind of just ignoring the Bacchus here. The biggest thing you could do for your team is just ignore the tanks during team fights. See if we can get some damage off there. There's the damage. And that's all we need right there. Double kill. Guan Yu lost his life. Neith is going hard. There's a stun. That's all we need. Another free easy kill there. Poseidon's going to throw out some whirlpools. His ultimate's down, so there's nothing he can really do about it. Free kill there, and they're going to surrender. So very close game. up until the midway point when we started taking over. Of course, I lost first blood, but we turned it out quite well. And that's one of the biggest things you can do for yourself is just not force yourself into bad situations or hate on yourself too hard or anything along those lines. So it's very easy to get caught up in the emotional state. GG. Looking at the damage now, there's nothing really too surprising there. Hell, Derby played an excellent Hell that game. You see a lot of damage there as well as a lot of healing. 17,000 healing is a lot. That is a lot of healing as well as some good damage. Hopping the itemization. As far as my personal build, I went for some penetration on my boots, some penetration on the Void Zone, but protections on top of that. We also had the Gem of Isolation for kill securing, as I previously explained, and then I went directly into the Breastplate of Valor to avoid any kills from Naja or Apollo. They're going to be doing a lot of damage to me, because I'm worried about that, especially with the Heartseeker on the Naja and the penetration that she had. So I picked it up. Plus, it gives me CDR, which allows me to have more meteors, more abilities, more dashes, all that kind of stuff. But as you can see, I mean, look at the scoreboard. Every single time the game ends early, it's going to be because of the mid and the jungle. Literally every time. But of course, Guan Yu had 1, 3, and 16. A lot of assists there, so excellently played. Neath also did a lot of damage. And Hell just held down the right lane. And a lot of times, if you win this soul lane that much, like Hell did there, you'll end up being able to rotate a lot and get a lot of kills and help out the team. But there's really isn't nothing else to be said about that game, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Throw a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Throw a favorite or share it with anybody. Literally anybody, your friends, your dog, and let me know what you thought about the game in the comment section below and what you'd like me to play next, and I will see you next time.